Alright, grab your MacBooks because I'm about to show you 11 brilliant new Mac apps you'll want to install before this video is even over. The first one being Outpost Launcher, which makes sending and attaching files as easy as it gets. Check this out, we can just grab any file, shake it, and this customizable sharing palette pops up. And we can do stuff like attaching the file to a new message, or if it's an image, importing it into the Photos app. But this launcher becomes dramatically more powerful once we customize it. Like, just for instance, you can add any contact to directly send the file to, add a folder to quickly move it there, or even an Apple shortcut, like this one, which summarizes any PDF I share it using on-device Apple intelligence. Plus, Outpost Launcher is a one-time purchase of $3.99 on the App Store. Now, you might have already noticed that there's this cargo hold feature for temporarily dropping off files to then grab them later in one go. But there's another app that does exactly this and so much more. It's the app DockSide, which turns your dock into something way more powerful than just a basic app launcher, giving this dead space around your dock an actual purpose. For starters, think of this left side as your temporary parking spot, where you can drop files, links, images, or text, and then drag anything back out whenever you need it, without actually having to store it in the Finder. Now, you might say, we've seen these catch-all trays for macOS before, and you're right, but DockSide goes much further than that, because it also adds this right side extension, which gives you quick access to your downloads and screenshots with file previews. You can just swipe the shelf to expand, plus everything's fully searchable and it's super snappy. Though honestly, I've barely scratched the surface here, because this might just be the single most customizable Mac app I've ever seen. I mean, this thing has an absurd amount of features, like, just for instance, you can replace the right side with media controls or live computer stats, or create custom drop zones that actually do something with the files you throw in, like instantly airdrop them, run shortcuts, or even Apple scripts, so there's basically no limit to what you can build here. Plus, the app gets updated almost every couple of days at this point, and that's for a lifetime purchase of $5.99. As a German, you'd say, kann man nicht meckern. Oh, and in the exact same way, the app Pipiri. Like literally a few days ago, I was trapped in one of those painfully slow support chats where you're waiting 5 business days for every single response. Now, I still had to write this video script, so what I'd normally do is either sacrifice half my screen to the chat or constantly switch back and forth to check if they replied, which completely kills my focus. That's where Pipiri comes in. It takes the idea of picture-in-picture video and lets you use it with literally any window on your Mac to see the progress on support chats, exports, AI deep research, or anything else. It's essentially a live screen recording floating in the corner. Like, you can even set the frame rate to optimize battery and CPU usage. You can also zoom in and out of the window, but what I really like is how little it gets in your way, because you can make it auto hide whenever your cursor touches it, which fixes my biggest annoyance with picture-in-picture videos. Oh, and it's a one-time purchase of $12. Oh, and you might have noticed already, but all the apps in this video are either free or reasonable one-time purchases. The only subscription you can get here is the one to the channel. DeskMinder is a simple reminders app on paper, but 2 features make it weirdly interesting. For starters, adding a new reminder is super smooth. You literally drag this bar to stretch out the timer, and it gives some nice haptic feedback. Now, this only goes up to 99 minutes, and while you can also enter a custom time, the app's really built for quick little tasks you want to get out of your mind while working. But what I really like is that reminders explode in this full screen view, making them impossible to ignore. And because it syncs with Apple reminders, you still get the normal reminders notification on your other devices. DeskMinder is $6 on the App Store. Kofe Flow is a simple but beautiful Pomodoro timer. You probably know this already, but Pomodoro isn't just a great tomato sauce. but also a productivity technique where you work in short, focused 20-minute sessions followed by quick 5-minute breaks. All this app does is place work and break timers in your menu bar, but pressing that focus button somehow flips a switch in my brain to actually log in. What's more, it shows you stats, how you actually spend that focus time, which is a really honest way of seeing what you actually got done or how much YouTube you watched instead. Oh, and Kofe Flow is completely free on the App Store. Okay, hear me out. By now we've seen loads of apps trying to recreate the iPhone's dynamic island on the MacBook's notch. And normally I don't like recommending them because they're often buggy, distracting, or packed with random features that just make them feel kind of gimmicky. Alcove is different. I've been using it for a while now, and trust me when I say this might genuinely be the most polished third-party app I've ever used on my Mac. I've literally started touching my MacBook's notch for fun now, which is a deeply strange thing to say on the internet. Alcove also adds media controls and your calendar events to the notch, plus it shows the remaining time of any event as a live activity. And like I said, I usually don't like how distracting these apps are, but here you can dismiss any event you don't need. Plus what I really like is that you have to physically swipe down the dynamic island. It doesn't just pop up every time you get close to your notch with the cursor. Oh, and before I forget, it adds media controls and mini widgets to your lock screen too. You can try Alcove for free for 14 days and then buy it for $14 on the developer's website. And I do still want to mention one customization app that I've been loving recently. It's called Plash, and all it really does is let you set any website as your wallpaper, which might sound pointless at first, until you realize how many cool things you can actually do with that. I mean, just for instance, you could set a live webcam from anywhere in the world, live flight radar so you can see the planes currently above your head, your Google Calendar, or a live weather map. We can customize a few things too, like how often the website refreshes, or quickly switch between different websites from the menu bar. Plus, you can activate an interactive mode, so you can actually click around and use your wallpaper as a normal website. Plash is free on the App Store. And it's often those tiny utility apps that end up being more game-changing than the massive customization apps. Like this next one spends most of the time doing absolutely nothing on my Mac, but the moment I need it, I'm absurdly glad it exists. It's called CleanMyKeyboard, and all it does is lock your keyboard so you can actually clean it properly, which you should. No, you really should. You can unlock the keyboard again with your mouse. And it's free on the App Store, so you have nothing to lose except for the Dorito crumbs stuck in your keyboard. And while we're cleaning things, your keyboard might not be the messiest part of your Mac. There's a good chance your storage is. And I won't recommend any of those giant Mac cleaner apps that sponsor nearly any tech YouTuber. The app GrandPerspective does the job perfectly, and it's free. It scans your entire drive and then creates this big visual map. It's simple. Every square here is a file or folder, and the bigger it is, the more storage it's eating up. We can hover over anything to see exactly where it's stored and manually delete it. Plus, again, GrandPerspective is free on the developer's website or $2.99 on the App Store, and it's open source. Just like the next app, Loop. Now, macOS finally has drag and drop window tiling built in, but if you want something even easier and quicker, Loop lets you hold down the function key to get this pie where you can instantly direct the window to any corner of the screen using your mouse. It's probably the smoothest way to organize your windows. I mean, you don't even have to drag them. Loop is free to download from GitHub. Oh, and just like most apps on this list, Loop adds a bunch of keyboard shortcuts. But that creates another problem. If you've ever tried making your own shortcuts, you know how hard it is to find unused combinations. The app Hyperkey fixes that. It makes one simple change, which opens up hundreds of new and easy keyboard shortcut options. You see, because there are barely any shortcuts that combine all 4 modifier keys, so Command, Option, Control, and Shift, Hyperkey combines all of these into the caps key, because this is the only key that does nothing when you hold it down. Until now. You can still press it normally to enable caps, but when you hold, you can create any new keyboard shortcut combination, like caps and D, which is basically telling your Mac you're pressing Command, Option, Control, Shift, and D. Plus, Hyperkey is completely free to download. Oh, and before I forget, if you miss the Launchpad, which Apple removed in macOS 26, there's a free app that brings it back, and it's even better than the OG. You find it here in this previous Mac apps video. Alright, I'll see you there. Thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day.